Self-discipline is the ability to do things that are hard but important, even when no one is making you. And the last part, no one is making you, is the part that most people have trouble with. When you were young, your parents mostly told you what to do. Your teacher tells you what to do when you're in school. But once you're an adult, no one really cares that much about you. No one will tell you what to do, and no one will make you stay in line. And if you don't, it doesn't matter, because the next person will. The main cause of your difficulties and discipline is due to this. It's incredibly simple to bargain with oneself. You always let yourself win and choose the simple solution. In that regard, it is true that you cannot actually force yourself to do anything. However, there is a workaround for this, which we'll demonstrate in this video. Welcome to Unleash Billions. If you examine very disciplined people, whether they are in the military, business owners, or elite athletes, you'll discover that they all share a similar trait. They were placed in circumstances where discipline was not only a desirable quality, but an absolute need. Either you receive discipline or you are dismissed. This is the first step in developing discipline, since the context determines the terms for you rather than you for yourself. You must realize that discipline is developed inside a specific situation. You don't just decide to be disciplined one day out of the blue when you wake up, though. You need a valid justification in addition to modeling a setting where discipline is required to accomplish anything. Alright, let's briefly revisit college. The only way to finish the pile of tasks and homework you have is to stop procrastinating and start working. There isn't a way around it, beneath it, or past it. You're not permitted to bargain with anyone or modify the terms of the agreement. You get what you get, which makes discipline a little bit simpler because you are given a framework to follow and your only responsibility is to actually carry it through. Nothing further needs to be done. However, there is no structure or background in the real world. You have to construct it yourself. Let's imagine, for instance, you have 2 selections for your wedding attire and that is 6 months away. Either you wear what now fits you or you purchase something more fitted. If you choose the second choice, you create a situation where you must practice discipline for the ensuing 6 months. This is only one example, but this way of thinking can be applied to just about anything in life. You can choose to place yourself in a situation where discipline is necessary. You have the choice. For instance, you decided to submit a video every day from Monday through Sunday. You are required to maintain a particular level of discipline in this environment. This is correct on a macro level, but you can use the same logic on a macro level by setting strict time constraints and deadlines. You see, the more time you give yourself to do a task, the longer it will take you to complete it. It's like an unspoken life rule that will always be true. If you have 3 days to complete a task, you'll think about it for the first 2 days and become anxious on the 3rd day. For the majority of people, it is just how things are. So, allot yourself little time if you wish to mimic a setting that demands discipline. Batching things together back-to-back is one approach to achieve this. Consider meetings as an illustration. One meeting can take up to 3 hours in a given day. But if you arrange 6 meetings for 3 hours, you'll quickly realize that 30 minutes is more than enough time to resolve a problem. Furthermore, if it requires longer time, someone is unprepared and is wasting everyone's time. So, for a start, we have context. High-value stakes are the next crucial thing you need to acquire if you want to force your way into discipline. You need something incredibly significant to happen at the conclusion. Consider a scenario in which a friend calls to invite you to meet them for coffee tomorrow at 5 a.m. You might take it or you might not. If the final flight back home departs at 5 a.m. tomorrow, you're definitely boarding that flight. Else you'll spend the holidays stranded and start from your loved ones. You know, when you factor in large stakes, you also factor in the emotional component. You make it really essential to you and make it personal. So you don't want to mess it up. The basis for your context is this. You need a reason to be disciplined if you want to learn discipline. It's up to you to determine this reason because it depends on the situation, but it's crucial to be specific. You'll give up halfway through if you don't give yourself a compelling enough reason. We'll explain why towards the conclusion of the video. The correct amount of effort is the final component or hidden ingredient, if you will, that most people actually don't tell you about. This is perhaps the most crucial stage. Let's look at how your mind actually functions to help you understand this. Your brain's primary goal is to ensure your survival. It essentially manages your body so you don't pass away, my friend. This is all you need to know, even though it's obviously far more complicated than that for what we are about to tell you. So, in essence, procrastination is this. Your mind exaggerates the amount of work required to complete a task, and as a result, it tells your body to make you feel fatigued. Because of this, there are occasions when you feel exhausted despite doing nothing. Why is it crucial to understand this then? The biggest error you can make while trying to practice discipline is to overbook and overcommit. You think that tomorrow you might be a Navy SEAL instead of a couch potato today. You start working while listening to Eye of the Tiger on YouTube, but after 25 minutes, the rush wears off and your mind takes over. Wow, we're not doing it in any way. And while you might be able to fend it off occasionally, if you want to stick with it over the long haul, you can't have any battles with your own mind. The appropriate amount of effort is crucial in this situation. Basically, you need something challenging enough to exercise your discipline muscle, but not too challenging that your mind starts telling your body to stop. And it will get simpler the more times you do it. Your mind will stop viewing it as a major issue as you begin to handle more effort. By doing this, you can cultivate discipline over time and turn it into a useful talent. This is why, even if they've been doing it for years, when you see someone being incredibly disciplined, your initial response is, "I'll never be able to do that." They were in the right situation for the right reason, and now it takes less work since that is just how things are. We promise to give you our reason for staying with us until the finish as a bonus. So here it is. We constantly work to develop discipline because it makes things simpler. You see, maintaining discipline is about freedom, not about attaining enormous success or becoming well-known. You must practice financial discipline if you want financial freedom. You must be strict with your time management if you want time freedom. You must prioritize your goals with discipline if you wish to live a free life. Discipline is not a strategy to exhaust yourself with little rest. It allows you to accomplish the necessary tasks and then focus on the fun activities. That's all there is to it. If you adhere to context, reason, and the proper amount of work, you can develop discipline. If you do this correctly, in 6 months, you'll be a totally different person. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Unleash Billions. And if you haven't already, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Remember, success is within your reach, so unleash your inner billionaire. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video.